TGIF. There's some stuff that's going on that's kind of confusing a little bit, in so much as that price is ignoring the sentiment. And we know about 90% of the time this is a really, really good indicator that tells us and forecasts price direction. Now, currently, it's not behaving. All right, so they sold it very heavily. Price is coming down. So it might be a case of it just making it look like it's going to continue to fall in order so that these guys are going to hold on to their bias. However, we really shouldn't be falling currently because of that. So what it's telling us is that it's currently payday the last 2 hours. And you see that the US 30, we might need to raid those lows. However, the DAX did it, but yet we're falling on the DAX. So they're the lows that I thought were like, a ruse. It's like a trap, but we're falling anyway. So those guys who sold there are now getting paid. Let's look at US 500. So it's going to be a tricky day from a risk appetite perspective. I think there's stuff going on in the news, but they're not releasing it, I think, because I couldn't see anything on Twitter at all. It could be that there's some, maybe some contagion on that banking crisis, a credit-fueled fear in Europe, and they're just not allowing that news to spread on Twitter because I couldn't see anything at all. The only thing that I saw was that there were riots in France and it's getting a little bit out of hand, but nothing about the banks. So it could be a fundamental day where it's going to override the sentiment, which is fine. We can't just purely rely on the sentiment, but we know 90% of the time it's very accurate, maybe even 95%. That's how much confidence I've got on this. However, we shouldn't be falling. So it's going to be one of those tricky days. It's going to possibly be payday Friday on the indices, and it's very much not going to be payday on currencies. So we're currently 24 pips up on our trade, which is fine. But if we go to the failure rate, we know that they're getting punished. So it might be a case that they're going to get punished on FX, but going to get paid on indices. And there could be something that's actually brewing, and they're not allowing us that information, because if you think about it, we're at the very bottom of the information food chain. We're not going to be allowed that information. So, the big fish act on it first. I wonder whether or not that might be something. It's looking fairly heavy. So we covered DAX, we did US 30, we'll look at gold. And this is going to be a trade setup where you have your stop here and your entry here, and you're going to target 1950. So wait for 1975 to break. Well, it says 1973 there. So 1973, 1988, 87 area. Fairly wide stop, so you will want to make sure that you're at least getting 1R or 2R. But that's the logic here, is that you're going to enter below 1974, stop here. But currently it's going to be wishy-washy and flip-flop, I think. And it might be that this is going to also pay the retail guys. See how they're going long? They're getting paid. So there could be something that's going on. And we know that gold's going to react to some crisis because it's a very traditional safe haven asset. So it might be payday for gold and indices, and it should be punishment day on the FX. But we don't really want to see that to get lower. Okay, so 65% is fine. So I think what might be, it might just be very careful today and possibly sit on your hands. Now the thing is, the dollar Swiss, see the reaction that wick of our demand. Exactly. So that's our stop loss. And we've currently got super trend resistance at 92. Above 92, 92, actually we can call it 93. So it's nice and easy to remember. So above 92, we've got pretty much clear sky, maybe something here potentially, but we'll have some resistance at 93. So look to sell up here with a stop there. It's a 20 pip stop. Okay, so that's how you can do it. So I think it's going to be a bit of a funny old day in the indices, and it could be that there's something brewing. So if there is anything that you see on Twitter or anything of note, do let us know, and then we can use that information, can't we? So Patreon video now, but I think we've got to be really careful because it looks like things are ignoring the sentiment on the indices and risks. So, that being said, it's going to be a caveat for the Patreon video, and we were looking to short GU, weren't we? So we'll have a look at that now.